Okay, there we go. We're all ready. Oh, thank you very much for joining me today, Mark. How are you?
I'm really good.
My man. Thank you very much.
All positive.
You telling me, bro? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Luton's Deadpool podcast with myself, Luton's Deadpool, obviously. And today, incredibly special guest who's been on the show once before and has come back. So glad that he's come back because honestly, this man's my hero. So it really means a lot to me, him coming here and just sitting down having a chat with me. It's Mark Crowther, everybody. Look at this. I've got the man and I've got his book. I've got his book. Can you believe it? Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to chat to you.
Yeah.
We've chatted before and we inspire each other.
It's always a pleasure. I mean, whenever you've called me up or I've called you up or just bump into each other and things, it's always a pleasure. And like you said, it's whenever I'm seeing the stuff that you're doing, it just makes me want to go harder. Just always makes me want to go harder. Obviously, lately, this is my first podcast for I don't even know, 2 or 3 weeks now. Gone a bit quiet. Been having some stuff in the background. Obviously, I don't talk about that stuff on the show or just in general too much. But I've had a lot going on. It's been very, very stressful. So the suit hasn't been on much, but I'm back in it. And I'm glad that you've come on because this is great timing for me personally. Because now it's you inject me with some energy. It's proper get up and go juice.
It's an honour for you to want to speak to me again.
Dude, don't be silly. No, but tell me, Mark, obviously, it was last time that I chatted to you, you'd just recently completed your season, of not last season. It was the season before.
Yeah.
The season before where you was cycling to every single away match that Luton Town was playing, which was just incredible. And then you had just started as well your one that you done last year, which was to go to every stadium in England.
Yeah, it was. So the away cycle challenge raised £16,000.
Yeah, that's
which was
crazy.
Just staggering, and just so much positivity and momentum from that ride. I thought, I've got to do something. What's harder than doing every away game? In my thoughts, I don't know, rational thoughts, I thought I'll just do every ground.
Yeah.
So it was basically, I gave up my job to do it. I cycled to 116 football grounds, which was 2,500 miles in 34 days with 1 day off.
Yeah.
And so I literally, so basically I was supporting Mind because of my own experiences with mental health, for prostate cancer and for Teenage Cancer Trust.
Yeah.
So I basically got the train up to Carlisle, 5th of April, I started, and just incredible experience. And I'm still trying to work out how I actually managed it.
I can't believe it personally.
It was probably it is the hardest thing I've ever done, both physically and mentally, just to keep going day after day after day. But the positivity from everyone, the football clubs were really supportive when I arrived. And the dream was to cycle up Kenilworth Road, arrive for Luton's last home game, Hull City, completed my challenge, and it raised just over £10,000.
Oh, it's just wild. That is absolutely wild.
That's £27,000 over the last 2 years just by following my passions, which is for Luton Town and cycling, but also following my passions of sort of supporting some really great causes and just trying to, as I go around the country, spread the word on the awareness and just trying to raise the awareness. And honestly, just the amount of people you speak to when you hear about people's experiences and how the charities have touched them, it was just an incredible experience. And everyone was so kind. And because obviously, some days I'd literally be cycling 10 hours a day, then trying to get rest in recovery, and then up back on the bike 8 o'clock the next morning.
I can't understand how you did it. It's the willpower to do that has to be so strong inside you to decide firstly that you're going to commit to something like that, which is just crazy. It's actually ludicrous to decide that you're going to do this, but then to when you have hard days, it can be so easy to just give up. I think it's like really inbuilt in humans that when things get hard, that, you know, we get an out option straight away in our head, like, oh, I can quit this,
Yeah.
it'll be fine, you know, nobody's going to be upset with me and blah, blah. But, you know, to overcome that, that's the real achievement for me. You know, you can cite all the cycling's great, but it's the mental thing that I'm more impressed by with you.
In my mind, I sort of have this saying that I say to myself is, so anything I take on, I commit to it 100%. And for me, quitting isn't an option. I mean, I had sort of low grade tear about a week to go.
Oh, no way.
And I still had, so basically I had 3 days where I did 100, 108, 110 miles on consecutive days with an injury. But for me, it was like, what excuse or what reason would be acceptable to say, no, I can't do it? And also, like, the reason I'm doing it is to sort of raise awareness, and what people are going through that need these charities is way more tougher than me just like feeling a bit broken from cycling a lot, and I will recover. Whereas a lot of people that need these charities, they don't have the option. Like, for them, quitting isn't an option, and quitting was never an option. And for me, it's like I always like give absolute everything to commitment in terms of what I put in, but also is just like, you know what they're saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And there'd be no reason which I'd accept from myself as to, I always just, each day I try and be the best version of me that I can be.
Yeah.
So some days it might take me longer, I might be a bit slower, and I've been rained on for 8 hours, I might not have been in the best moods, but I just try and be the best version of me that I can be every day. And that represented getting to the end of each day as like a mini achievement, and then going again each day. So that was my whole mantra for each day of the challenge.
No, so it's a wonderful mindset to have. You know, I think a lot of people could benefit from having that same mentality. It's obviously not something that comes inherent to a lot of people. I mean, you've not always been this way, have you?
No. I think sometimes I'm just too stubborn to quit.
You put your stick in the ground, you're like, I'm not moving.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's talk about mind a little bit, because obviously you've that's who you was raising for last season, and I know you're going to do something again this season. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but who are Mind? I mean, there's people out there who may not actually be aware of who they are. So who are Mind in your opinion?
Yeah, so Mind do a lot of work nationally and within each community. So for the local Mind around the Luton area, they do. I mean, my whole thing with my own struggles with mental health is that no one should struggle on their own. No one should suffer with mental health.
Yeah.
And I first struggled a long time ago, and that was back in the day where it was like, just man up and get on with it and stop moaning. And that was sort of the mantra with mental health when I first started. But nowadays there's like so much help and support, and it's different for each person. So some people might be comfortable speaking to family, to friends. Some people might not be comfortable, and it's easier to talk to a stranger, whether it's a counsellor, whether it's the support network that's out there. But the most important thing is that people speak to someone. It doesn't matter, it's who you feel comfortable. And the hardest thing is taking the first steps of admitting that you're struggling. And one of my favourite, or one of my sayings is, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And never feel sort of that, oh, it's me, it's not you. It's like everyone struggles.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to be able to speak to someone.
Yeah.
And my own personal experiences, I've spoken to professional counsellors, because I found that easier to talk to them, almost like they didn't know me. And I found
same here. It's exactly the same.
Easier. But for some, it's easier to sort of tell the family. And so that's a bit about me. But getting back to Mind, I mean, Mind do incredible work. They have sort of drop-in centres.
You've got some in Luton, haven't they?
Yeah. So they do like a crisis cafe.
Yep.
They do groups for young people or for
They do one for men as well.
Male,
Yeah,
for
I was very
female.
impressed to see that.
But they do so much support, and like I said, the whole thing is no one should suffer alone.
Yeah,
So as well as being a national organisation, that they've got, and I don't want to quote numbers that aren't accurate, but they've got hundreds and hundreds of support centres around the country, so that if anyone's struggling, they just need someone to speak to, then there is support out there. And yeah, they just do incredible work. And for me, what I do with my cycling is trying to raise awareness. So raise awareness that it's okay not to feel okay, and that there is help and support out there. But it's also raising awareness for mine that with the local centres that there are, that people can just go along and maybe just, even if you don't want to speak at that time, listen to people's experiences.
yeah, that's a great way to get some perspective, right?
Just put everything into perspective. I mean, like I said, they do so much amazing work, and you think a lot of what they do is they rely on, they get some funding, but a lot of it is through fundraising from people. So anything that I can do, so through my cycling, if it helps one person ask for help, or maybe through my awareness, they didn't realise of the help and support that was available in each community.
Yeah,
So there's welfare centres, and the local mind is not only Luton, it's Bedford, it's Milton Keynes.
yeah.
So
There's plenty of support out there.
There's plenty of support. They run a helpline where people can phone up and speak to people if they don't feel comfortable going to a group. So so the main thing is that if through what I do they learn that there is support out there through a wide range of sort of centres, and they didn't know that, then I feel like I've sort of partly done my job.
Yeah, 100%. Even if just one person hears it, do you know what I mean? You might have saved a life.
Yeah, one person that just asks for help and realises it's okay not to be okay, and go along to the centres or phone the helplines, and they do so much help. I mean, the amount of people that struggle with mental health, and it's for different reasons that people struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
People have got different things going on in their lives, and
so there's different levels of extremity as well there. Like, some people, it's something where it affects them in a small way, and then there's some people where it affects them in such a big way they can't even get out of bed.
I mean, so obviously, because I say obviously, but I've struggled on a number of occasions, and you sort of think that, okay, I know the signs, and that next time I'll know. But sometimes when you're cocooned in those thoughts, I sort of feel like you're in a darkened room. There's no windows, there's no doors, and you're not thinking sort of rationally, or you're not thinking, oh well, last time this happened. And sometimes you're sort of
you kind of just forget all
immersed in it, and you sort of finding, I see it as like there's bumps in the roads. There's sort of feel like you're on this journey. You never reach a destination.
No,
but
of course not.
You're sort of on this journey that you're going to have times where you struggle, and times where you feel like you're sort of making progress, and you're able to sort of look at things differently. So it's just why I like to support mental health.
It's good that you're supporting them. I mean, like, just to go a little bit deeper into like mental health, men's mental health specifically, because this is something that I'm thinking about a lot lately. I'm doing my own group that I'm starting up, and I just want to shout out to all the people that helped me. I can't say names just yet because I'm not, I'm very close to official, but we'll just hold off on that for a moment. But one of the questions that I think about a lot is why is it that men are struggling so much lately? I mean, I've got my reasons for why, but what do you think?
I think it's getting a lot easier, but I think in the past the thing with men is that they think like, oh, I should just like get on with it, and sometimes it's a sign of weakness that I can't admit that I've got a problem or I'm struggling because, like, if you go and tell your boss, you might think that you can't do your job. But I think a lot of companies are supportive. I mean, my last counselling was through a network through work.
Yeah.
So they actively encourage people to sort of go and speak to people. So I think for some people it might be a sign of weakness, admitting that they're struggling. I think it's getting a lot easier, and there's a lot. And also, I think years gone by there wasn't the help available.
Yeah, there is that as well.
And like, people thought, I can't ask for help, I can't admit I'm struggling. And yeah, I think it's just the whole thing that it wasn't, especially if you're in that male environment.
Yeah.
You're in that male environment, and almost like, I wouldn't say the ego side of it, but just basically like,
yeah. It's like the toxic masculinity side of things, right? I mean, I just want to state firstly, before I say any more on that, is that there are two forms of masculinity. There is just masculinity, and then there's toxic masculinity, right? And there's nothing wrong with masculinity. I think this is one of the problems that we're facing a lot nowadays as well, is that, to be a man is kind of frowned upon almost, in that, to be a big, hairy, smelly, beer drinking kind of guy who likes the football is kind of like paired with toxic masculinity a lot of the time. But I know a lot of guys who are like that, who are the best gentlemen that you will find, who, they don't abuse anybody, they don't belittle anybody, they don't lord it over other men. Often I find that some of my most masculine friends are some of the softest as well, and that they've really got time to hear you and listen to you. I think it's kind of a problem lately that the two have been paired, and because of that, I think that this is more applying to young men. I think there's a lot of young men who feel like they've got no place to go because they want to act a certain way, they want to be a certain way, but then it's being told to them they can't. You know what I mean?
Well, the most important thing is, like, if you've got a friend who, just by saying, "Are you okay?" and saying, "Are you really okay?" just knowing that people have got someone they can turn to.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, I think that just the whole thing of talking was always seen as being like quite an effeminate kind of thing, right? That if you talk about your problems, then you're being a bit of a woman, right? And that was like a frowned upon thing, and it doesn't make any sense because you I feel as well, and like there's nothing wrong with that. If I feel sad, then if I talk about, like what you said, if I talk about it, it makes it easier, it makes it better. You should 100. And to any men out there that are struggling, please reach out. Please reach out to people, because by sitting there silently suffering, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing your community any favors either, because you could be a useful person out here, and by struggling with this, it kind of hampers you in many areas, not just your own personal, but you don't necessarily engage as much with people, and you don't necessarily help your neighborhood as much because your problems affect you so much that maybe you can't leave the house. You know what I mean?
You feel withdrawn, but definitely don't suffer in silence.
100%.
Is the message.
100%. And yeah, I mean, like, I was looking at Mind's men's mental health group that they've got on, and obviously I am not the type of person to ever feel like there is competition for stuff like this. I think more support is better. So I just want to give Mind a big shout out here. They've got the men's mental health group on between 10:30 a.m. and 12:30 a.m. every Friday at Dumfries Street. So if you're struggling and you've got time on a Friday and you want to go and talk to someone, please go and get help, because it's not worth it. I mean, you've heard Mark. Mark's a great bloke, and very intelligent on the subject. Been struggling with it a long time. Mark's advice is go and talk to people, right, Mark?
Yeah, definitely.
So please do yourself a favour. Be like Mark. Get yourself some help. It's only going to benefit you in the long run, and it will benefit everyone else around you as well. Because a happy you equals a happier world around you, right? So, just want to give out shout out to them. Just in terms of other charities that you work with as well, because I've seen you popping up on socials a little bit recently. With like Keach as well, and you're doing bits from Noah as well. So just tell me, why did you choose to help out the other ones? Because obviously you was doing prostate cancer before.
Yeah,
And
so
you've kind of varied it a little bit now. You're a little bit different.
so fast tracking it now to the sort of the announcement of what's coming up next.
Oh well, let's hold off on that. We'll do that in the next segment because
Okay,
we're going to go to a break in a second,
right.
and then we'll do that after. But yeah, just explain like why you've picked these charities in specifically.
So what I'm doing next, which we will speak about.
Yeah,
So what I wanted to do is celebrate and raise awareness of some charities that do amazing work in the community in and around Luton.
yeah,
That's what it's all about. I've supported Keach on my first challenge, and what they do for, I mean, the support they offer for people with life-limiting illnesses, and it's not just the people that are struggling with the illnesses. They're there for the aftercare for the family, and the support that they offer is just in around the Luton area is just incredible.
yeah,
I was there yesterday, and just the work that they do, and they need to raise £6 million a year. They don't get funding from
yeah. I know
anyone,
it's crazy.
and literally anyone that's sort of got life limiting illnesses or end of life care, they just do incredible work. And yeah, I wanted to support them again on a new challenge. And
It's a wonderful place to go to, isn't it? But
yeah,
it's a very sad place as well at the same time. But
yeah,
they
but
seem to make it happy
all
somehow.
the staff are so just yeah, they're just there's a feeling of love and warmth when you go in
Yeah,
there. And
yeah, I agree.
they've obviously been supportive for me because I'm trying to raise awareness for them, but they've always got time for you. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's just an incredible charity that I want to support again.
yeah. No, that's good. And Noah as well. Yeah, what's compelled you to go to
So I
them?
I mean, obviously my love of Luton Town Football Club that's my passion. And I have to admit, I didn't know a lot about Noah until they were the club's main charity. But I mean, what Noah do is obviously a lot for the homeless and the disadvantaged
Yeah,
people in and around Luton. And obviously, people fall on hardship for a variety of different reasons. And I was down at Noah last week, and it's just incredible what they do. I mean, they have a welfare centre
hmm,
whether people just want to drop in, they need a shower, or I mean, they actually cook for anyone that needs a meal.
yeah,
So they do a wide range of sort of services for people. They find homes for a number of people. They rehome people. Uh, and whilst I was there, I found out they just do so much. Like, for example, if people are trying to get back on their feet, they'll
yeah,
help them with CVs. They even supply clothes for people to go for an interview.
yeah.
So they're coming across in the best, so that they're
That's
like,
lovely. That is lovely.
and yeah, I mean, literally, they they have people drop in that they just need a meal. They never
Yeah,
turn that.
it's like the lowest people in society that everybody else has turned their back on. Um, what I love about Noah is that no matter what you've done, or no matter like even what you've been accused of or anything,
Yeah,
they won't turn their back on you. They just won't do it because
yeah,
the part of their charity is that they are there for everybody. And I love that
yeah,
about them.
yeah, and just some of the like the numbers of people that they're seeing is increasing because in this economic time where like there's more hardship, more people struggling.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's for a variety of reasons that people fall on hard times.
exactly. Yeah,
And they do so much in the Luton community that I wanted to sort of raise awareness through what I'm doing, that hopefully, like I said, if it helps one person, then I want to sort of, and like I said, they will like they will cook and they will do meals for people that drop in. And honestly, they would have no idea how many people are going to drop in on any
yeah,
given day. But they'll always feed people, shower, and try and sort of rehome people. And they just do so much that I think when I go and speak to them, you sort of gives you puts everything into perspective.
Yeah.
I know we're all guilty of sort of we complain and we sort of forget how lucky we are, and you sort of see what they do and how many people they help, and just puts a perspective on everything. And
it really makes you feel grateful for what you already have.
Definitely.
And then, you should give back. If you're in a position to help, then that's what you should be doing, because there are some people out there that have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. All they've got is the hope that they'll make it to tomorrow. And you know what? For that person, let's try for them.
So that's why I'm supporting.
No, that's big of you, man. I really respect that. Okay, we're going to go to a short break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about, because I know you're desperate to talk about what you're doing next. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about your book.
Excellent.
And we're going to talk about the mighty Luton Town and the prospects for the next season. All right, because that's going to be the fun bit. We'll save that for the end, because I want people to stay for the end of this podcast.
Excellent.
All right, cool. Right, anyways, back to reality. And we have this book to talk about. We have a great book to talk about. It's called Mad Hatter, and it is by Mark Crowther, and there is a lovely foreword in here by Mick Harford.
Absolute legend.
I mean, can I just say, for all your achievements, they are pretty damn impressive. But to have Mick Harford write the foreword for your book,
it's just like
I get giddy when I think about Mick Harford. I've still not met him. I've seen him obviously out and about, but I've never met him. But the things I hear about the man, he sounds like an absolute gem of a person.
I've been so lucky that I was being of my age, being a fan back in the 80s. I remember when he signed for the club, and just like what he's achieved for the club, just been an absolute legend. And through my fundraiser, and obviously like the terrible news with prostate cancer, and him being so brave that wanting to sort of share that to raise awareness. And he's been player, he's been manager, he's been coach, chief recruitment officer. There isn't anything.
He's probably had the mop in his hand at some point as well.
And the thing is, when you speak to him, it's been an absolute pleasure and honour to sit down, have a coffee with him. And I was just thought this isn't happening really, because he's such a legend, but he's so humble and so approachable, and just like and the first time I was speaking to him, I was like so nervous, I felt sick, but but honestly he's so nice and so humble, and you get to know him, and he's obviously in his days playing for Luton, he was like the big hard man, and but he's almost like a gentle giant. He's so nice, and I was thinking, shall I ask him? Shall I not ask him? I thought, well, what's the worst he can say is no. And he's like, no, an absolute pleasure to write. And some of the words he's written about my book and about me, it's just like
it's really touching.
It's like it's just like incredible that he knows me. He knows me by name. It's just
I can see it in your face. I can see how happy you are, man. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, meeting your heroes and stuff. And I'm always fearful to meet my heroes, because what people always say, you don't want to meet them because they're normally bad. But from all the things that people have ever told me about Mick Harford, hand on heart, he sounds like an absolute legend. So I'm so proud for you to have had that, because you really deserve it, man, for all the effort you've gone through for this.
Anything we can do to support him, raise awareness of prostate cancer, and the message with prostate cancer is get checked. All the money we're raising helps with research to find a cure, but also raise awareness that getting tested is quick and easy. And it might save your life if you get checked regularly, and I do, and it's so quick and easy. But the main thing is just get checked, and then hopefully it's positive news. But if it isn't and it's catched quick enough, then
you'll be fine. You'll be pretty much fine, because early stages, it's quite preventable for getting worse.
I think it's I think like 1 in 8 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer, and some of the numbers basically are quite staggering in terms of how many men are diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
And even if you just think like how many, like Kenilworth Road holds 10,000. So
Yeah.
if say 1 in every, say, 150, so like if 1 in 8 is diagnosed, how many people that would be on any given home game if they were all
Yeah.
men over 50 of that age that are at risk or that at risk.
Yeah, it's quite a high number.
It's just
quite a high
frightening
number.
how
It
many.
is really,
And
really
like the
is.
awareness helps that. I know we've sort of gone off track, but
Yeah,
it's
no,
just,
I appreciate you
it's
talking about it.
incredible that he was brave enough, and he wanted to tell everyone, raise awareness so that people know.
Well, look at what he done. It inspired you to go and
Yeah.
raise money for that charity, and this is where it took you. It was because of this wonderful man stepping up and
Definitely.
deciding to talk, being brave. And this is, it all comes back full circle, doesn't it? Because it's all about talking and feeling like you're in a safe place to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah, big up Mick Harford. Let's talk about the book though. When did you start writing the book?
So basically the book.
Let me hold this up so people can see.
The book is primarily, it's about my cycling to every away game of the 21-22 season, and because of my low self-esteem and low self-confidence, I thought, number one, people wouldn't be interested in me just cycling to a game, and secondly, I thought people probably won't be interested reading about it, but yeah, I thought, well, I'm just cycling to games, it can't be that interesting. And then sort of random things happened, like just experiences that I had of the whole season, really. And around October, I thought, okay, well, I'll just start writing almost like a journal, just of what happened, because people saw me arrive at the ground on the bike, and then some of the jokes was, oh yeah, he just got the train round the corner, he cycled there. And a lot of people saw me arrive at the ground but didn't actually know
like what you'd just done.
Yeah. And the book isn't just about the cycle, so I touch on my 40 years as a Luton fan very briefly. I also a chapter dedicated to sort of my struggles with mental health.
Yeah.
So I talk about that in the hope that if someone reads it, then it might help one person. But then I talk a bit about my fundraising, and so the season before when Harry Cornick turned up on my door, and
that was so cool.
I promised him I was going to sell to every game. It's like, okay, I'm committed to it now, and off the back of that, and yeah, I just had so many experiences, but also I just met so many incredible people on the journey that I wouldn't have met if I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, before I sort of go to games, more or less go on my own, watch the game, come home. But through the challenge, I met so many people and shared so many experiences, and they told me their experiences through the charities I was supporting. So, and even then, I just kept the journal thinking, yeah, but I'll keep it as a journal, and then
because it'd be nice to read back one day when
yeah. And even then, I still wasn't convinced it was a good idea. So then people said, oh yeah, it'd be really interesting read. So I got to May, and then I sort of found a publisher, found a proofreader that would put it together. And I mean, basically, I'm not an author.
Yeah.
I know I've written a book, but I'm not an author.
You're kind of an author now.
I just sort of wrote about my experiences. And that's what a proofreader does. It sort of says, oh, that doesn't make sense. And
okay, that neatens it all up for you, basically.
Yeah, basically, oh, you've referred to this and I don't understand that. And it's like, okay, well, you're not from Luton background. And anyway, so then I just basically like thought, okay. And then once again, I thought, oh, well, nobody will buy it. And I wrote it on the basis that I'm not writing it to be a bestseller. I don't write it to make money out of it. I just want to share my experience. So if literally 2 people bought it, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
So really, it's just to share my experiences. And obviously, I talk a bit about the games after I cycled there, but not too much because it's more about the whole cycling challenge and random things like nominated for Support the Season award and various other things, and just basically that's so. Yeah, if anyone wants to sort of read about my experiences of what it's like to cycle to every game when there's a perfectly good bus, car, train that will get you there, that's a lot easier, and you want to know why I decided to cycle.
Why you're mental, basically.
and obviously like the Mad Hatter, so Mad Hatter Mark, it was sort of like that's a name for me, and so yeah, it's that's basically what the book was about, and a lot of people that see me cycling didn't, even though I share it on social media, a lot of people didn't know I'd written the book. And so I wrote the book, and what I do with the book is so if it's bought direct from me, I donate £2 to Keach Hospice. So basically the money is trying to put some money back into the charities. So like I said, it wasn't about me making money, it's just sharing my experience. So if it's something that interests anyone that'd like a copy, then
where can people buy the book from?
So basically it's in the club shop, in Park Street store, or it's in the stadium shop when the season starts.
Good stuff.
Or if you follow me on my social media, so on Twitter, Instagram, at Mark Crowther 66. If you drop me a message, I can get a book to you. If you're local, I'll deliver it to you myself. If not, I'll post it.
You go even get a signed copy by Mark himself.
Yes,
that sounds very cool.
You can even get
hand delivered. Wow, a man in demand like you should not be doing that. You need a lackey for that sort of stuff.
So I took a photo at every ground that I arrived at. So this is me at Middlesbrough, and it's just like an incredible experience for the whole season. So I thought I would share it with everyone, and sales are going really well. But if you'd like a copy, then
please, people, please buy this book. I mean, like, if not just to read something beautiful about Luton Town and the amazing journey they went on throughout the 21-22 season, read it because you are going to be inspired by this man. I don't care what you think. If you read what this man has achieved, you're going to be inspired. I don't know anybody else that has gone to as much effort as you have to raise the money that you've done, and to raise such a substantial amount as well. And then not just that, but the journey that you went on, the people that you met, and it is a really inspiring story. There's a lot of people that kind of want that sort of life as well, to have exciting things happen. And if you read this book, you can find out how. This is actually like almost like a guide on how to become great. This is what I would see this as. It's a brilliant book. Can't wait to get my hands on it and to read it myself. So thank you for bringing this for me today.
My pleasure.
Be taking it home, and this will be my my nightly read from this point forward. So thank you very much, Mark.
My pleasure.
Just to now talk about then, what is this season for you?
Oh, well,
I mean, it's pretty damn impressive what Luton Town have achieved. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
just off the scale, really. I mean,
crazy, right?
I did my 116 grand challenge, and that was it as far as I was concerned. I've done the championship, done every ground in the country, and I sort of thought, well, there isn't anything else to do. And then we only went and got promoted to the Premier League. We only went and did it. The most unbelievable day of my life.
You know, if they get into the Champions League, you're screwed.
Well, and even then, I thought, okay, this is the Premier League, and then I was at the parade, and I was chatting to Jordan Clark.
Yeah,
what a star!
And I love him.
And what just a genuine, decent, nice bloke.
Yeah. Did you see his shirt the other day, the teletext?
Yeah.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
So
good.
I said to him, "Oh, you're a Premier League footballer," and he says, "Oh yeah, you're a Premier League cyclist. It's the Premier League. We've got to do it." Like, okay, Jordan, I've got to do it now. So anyway, basically, I thought, okay, well, then I thought, right, so this will be my final challenge. I've done the championship.
So he says.
I've done every ground. I'm basically going to cycle to every away game in the Premier League. And the reason I'm doing it is it's a celebration of Luton getting the Premier League, but also what I want to do is celebrate, and I've touched on it earlier in the podcast, but it's also a celebration of the amazing work that local charities do in the community of Luton. So obviously with Luton getting in the Premier League, it's going to do a lot for the economy in the town. It's going to do a lot for such a feel-good factor. I mean, living in around Luton,
100%.
everyone's working around with a smile on their face. We're having to get the ground ready for the Premier League. All the big boys are coming to town. And yeah, it's just a celebration that, and obviously I'm of that age where I remember the Man United and Liverpool's coming to Luton Town back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, so I just wanted to celebrate and raise awareness for a lot of brilliant charities, and that's why I'm sort of supporting Noah, Keach Hospice, and Mine BLMK in Luton, and I'm continuing my support of prostate cancer.
Of course.
So, I mean, everyone's been so generous beyond my wildest dreams to donate £27,000 in the last 2 years is just crazy. Bonkers. So I've set up a Just Giving page, and for me, it's about raising awareness. So if through what I'm doing, people learn more about the charities that they didn't know before I'd done that, then it's great. If people want to donate, I'll be really grateful. But what I just want to do is, so do the challenge again, one last challenge. We're in the Premier League. I'm going to be rocking up to the Etihad, to the Emirates, to Old Trafford, to Anfield. I'm going to be rocking up on my bike and raising awareness for these great charities. And yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it again, but I just think...
I certainly can. I think that you're saying that this is the last one. I'm telling you, this is not the last one.
Well,
I'm hoping Europa League, Europa League, and then Mark journeys across Europe.
Yeah, well, literally getting into Europe is
that would be insane. Insane.
But no, I mean, but basically, I want to spread the word about. It's a lot of positivity around Luton. There's a lot of people that do a lot of great things, and these charities have chosen to do incredible work to support people in the community that are falling on hard times, that rely on these charities to support them through the difficult times. And if by getting on the bike, following my passions, Luton Town cycling, by following that, if I can help, then that's what I'm going to do for this season.
That sounds
Starting
awesome.
Brighton on the 11th and 12th of August.
That's not too bad.
100 miles.
I'm looking at Newcastle for you.
Yeah. So
that upsets me when I think that you're going to have to cycle up to Newcastle. Didn't you do that last season?
Actually, no, I did Sunderland last season.
Yeah, basically the same in it.
So January and February, which is probably going to be the coldest month. So Liverpool, Burnley, and Newcastle are all in January and February. So they'll all be 2-3 day cycles.
Yeah.
But then hopefully, through the difficult times, it will maybe inspire people to...
You're going to inspire people all up and down the country, mate. I can see it happening. You're going to be all over the news. You'll be all over Sky Sports. You'll be constant. You're going to get sick of it, if anything. But no, I think it's really special.
But no, I'm really excited about the adventure. A massive thank you to the Bobbers Travel Club.
Yeah.
They basically they're incredible. They basically get me and my bike home after each game.
Yeah.
They've supported me on the previous away cycle challenge, and they're going to support me and get me home. So yeah, they do. Without them, it would be impossible, because there's no way logistics of getting there and back on my own. It would never happen. So although I'm the one cycling, the support network is
couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without people. I mean, the football club, Luton Town, are just so incredibly supportive. Just without them sharing it and raising awareness, it wouldn't raise the money I do, because it wouldn't get the awareness I do, because obviously with their following, it's
100%.
It raises the awareness. So, like I said, I'm the one that cycles, but without everyone's support, I wouldn't raise the awareness and raise the money that I do. Without everyone's help, it's just a massive effort from everyone to get behind it. And I know it's asking a lot because, like I said, people have been so generous the last 2 years. And I know there'll be some thinking, oh no, not another cycle. But
I don't think so. Do you know what? I mean, we spoke about this previously on the phone. Won't go into detail about what we spoke about, but one of the things that what you said just then is that people will get fed up with it. Honestly, no. I told you this on the phone. I want to see you cycle into the grave. I don't ever want to see you stop, man. Like seriously, it's so. It just really makes me believe in the human spirit. Do you know what I mean? There's certain times where you feel really disenfranchised with the world and with life, and growing up in Luton, it can be very easy to feel that way. But when you see someone like yourself, it makes you realise that there's more. There's more to life, and there's more. There's more that you can achieve as a person. If a man like you, who picked up cycling later on in life, right, can do the incredible things that you've achieved, raise so much awareness, raise so much money, make so many friends across this time. Anyone can do it, right? And it's really inspiring. I think that if anything, you're crazy to stop.
Anyway, this season is.
I won't push you anymore. I've pushed you enough.
I'm in training at the moment, and I'm getting ready for the 11th, Friday the 11th of August.
Yeah.
I'll set off to Brighton for the game on Saturday the 12th, and that's
Fair
where
play, man.
we are back in the Premier. Well, I'll say we're back. We are in the Premier League,
in the top league,
because we actually got relegated the season
before. I know.
It was
How stupid is that? Like,
I know.
Just our luck for that to happen. But do you know what? In a way, everything happens for a reason, right? I mean, if it wasn't for that, there's no way that we would have Gary Sweet in charge and doing things he's done to rebuild the club in such a wholesome manner as well.
Yeah, the injustice of the 30 points, and we've had owners that didn't have the club at heart, the community at heart, and Gary Sweet.
He really believes in it.
The board, I've sort of met him on a number of occasions, and he always speaks to me on my level. I never, and that's so nice. And everyone at the club has just got the values, and everyone's treated the same in the club. Doesn't matter what level you're at, and that's why I think that all the players are so humble and they're so approachable, because it's like they won't bring anyone into the club, not just players, but won't bring anyone into the club that isn't aligned to the club's values.
No, I really, I mean, I met Gary at the Love Luton Awards earlier this year. I think you was there as well. We saw each other, didn't we? Yeah. And I had a little chat with him then, and I couldn't believe how lovely he was, and just like you say, his value system that he has is just insane for like what it's done for the club. We talked a little bit about that sort of stuff, and he told me as well he's got a secret account. He's got a secret account and he follows people on. So people think that he's not on Twitter. He's on Twitter. You just don't know it yet. But I won't say what his account is or anything, but he follows all of us on Twitter, and it's such a wonderful thing because he wants to be connected to people. He wants to, and I think that if he did have just like a regular account where you knew it was Gary Sweet, he's going to get disingenuous connections. He wants to be on the ground level with the fans. He wants to experience it. So I think that from what he said to me is that, he's got a better understanding of things in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the injustice, the 30-point deduction, when everyone thought we'd go down to non-league, we'll be here a year and then we'll come back. It took us 5 years to get out the non-league. And one of the things Gary says is, obviously because of how we've risen to the Premier League, we do it on the budget.
Yeah.
The club's run properly. No decisions are made within the club that isn't with the best interests.
Yeah.
They're all proper Luton people.
Yeah.
And he basically said that people want to copy what we've done because of where we've got to. No one can ever copy it because no one has ever been through what we've been through.
Exactly.
They've never been all the way from the old first division, gone down to the conference,
Yeah.
and then gone all
And
the way,
got such a loyal supporter base as
and
well.
then gone all the way back
Yeah.
up. But no one will replicate it because no one's had to
And do you
experience
know what? I don't
what
think
we've had
it's
to go
I
through.
don't think it's even possible, even if people did have that similar experience, because ultimately greed suffices in these situations. There's so much money in football, and you can get loans and you can get your club into massive amounts of debt, right? Just to make a bit of cash for yourself and make a bit of a name for yourself in the short term, without the care of the long term effect that has on the club. Well, Gary, he doesn't think that way at all. Like, we don't have debt, do we?
Yeah, but
As far as I'm
also
aware.
he won't make every decision he makes is for the long term
Exactly.
security of the club.
Yeah.
It's like we're not going to break the bank to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We'll run our club accordingly,
Yeah.
and that's what, like, the long term future of the
Yeah.
football club is the most.
Well, it's clear. It's like we're creating a stable club now where, I personally think that we're staying up. I don't see us going down. I think that we've got a big
Yeah,
chance. I think we've got a really good chance of staying up. But even if we did go down, I think we become a top championship team that then goes between,
yeah,
and then we continue to push to then become more regular lower level Premier League side. And I think that the goal, we're always aiming up. We're never happy with just settling.
yeah,
So I know I can see it. You can see it through the way that they're building the club. I think the only time that you're going to see some big expenses is when we've got the budget to make them expenses as well. So,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, the direction, the plan, everything. I mean, the best thing about it is I don't know a single Luton Town fan that doesn't like them. I think every Luton Town fan absolutely loves the project that's going on there
Yeah,
and is completely behind the ball. You cannot say that for a single club around the country. Like, there's going to be someone who's like doesn't like certain people within the clubs and how it's being run or the decisions being made. The only time that Luton Town fans don't like decisions being made is in the match when the manager's not making a substitution, or do you know what I mean, or the
but
formation's a bit
even when
off.
Nathan left for a
Yeah.
second time, uh, I got to speak to Rob at the Christmas dinner,
Oh yeah.
and I just literally had 2 minutes in his company, and what a nice guy he
Yeah, he's
is.
lovely. From what I've
And
heard
you
again.
just knew that he was so aligned to the project, to the club. He's always got time for everyone, and his whole ethos, having come from that club down the road.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
let's not say that name. I've just eaten lunch.
but no, I mean, I just knew that he was so aligned to, like, the values and everything, that it was just the perfect fit for this club. And the sort of recruitment process that the club do, both in players,
Yeah.
the sort of recruitment process is that, yeah, the players have got to be, or whoever comes in, have got to be aligned to the club
Yeah.
values. And, like, I've repeated myself, but that's why every single player is so humble and so approachable.
Yeah.
And everyone in the club, not just players, but everyone is so nice, and
Yeah.
it's such a team effort,
I
and
have to say,
that's,
it's a real victory that we've managed to keep hold of a lot of our players as well. Some names that I thought were probably going to go because of the success of last season.
yeah,
Obviously, Horvath's off and Nakamba's. We don't know what's going on with that.
yeah,
Drama's not, or Dramea. I can never pronounce his
Cody
name properly.
Drama.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
But every transfer window, we always come out of it stronger than we go
Yeah,
in.
I would love to see Marv back though. I'd absolutely love to see Nakamba. Like, I mean, I don't think that we've ever had a lone player that's come and been loved as much as him. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's a real special place that he's stolen in Luton Town fans' hearts, and
yeah. Well,
I'd
he
love to
did.
see him back.
Yeah, it was an incredible. Yeah, I think we were. I don't know exactly where we were at Christmas, but even last season,
Yeah,
we were in the playoffs, and it was completely different to the season before. Obviously, we
yeah,
got in the playoffs and had loads of injuries, and it literally was trying to get 11 players out.
yeah,
And yeah, there's disappointment of last year, but then we just came back stronger. And yeah, some of the games, some of the results. It was just like incredible season. And of course, we were expected, having made the playoffs the season before, oh yeah, it was just a one-off, and then we'll be struggling the next season. And then we've gone and finished third. And then you always worry about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs are lottery, and we finished third. And
I just couldn't believe it, being there in the ground that day. I mean, at Wembley, it was just absolutely wild. I remember the whole day previous leading up to it.
yeah,
I was having the greatest time. It was like a big party in London. Luton Town literally took over London. It was just sea of orange everywhere that you went. And then when I got into the stadium, I got the biggest migraine of my life. I've never, I don't get migraines at all. But every time I cheered or sung with a crowd, it felt like my head was going to explode, like my brain was trying to escape my body. And but do you know what? It didn't matter. I think when I got home that night, I just went to bed and I was just gone. And I was really ill the next couple of days as well. But the energy of what was going on kept me going that whole time. It was just such a beautiful day.
Just a roller coaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was horrible when the disallowed goal right at the end. Like, I couldn't believe, from where I was sitting, I had pretty good eyes on it, and it didn't look like it should have been disallowed. It looked like that was fair.
But then you forget, because we haven't had it all season, you forget about VAR, even though you know beforehand when you're in the motion of the game.
Yeah, you don't really know.
You forget there's VAR, and but we'll have to get used to that.
Yeah, the penalties at the end. Bless the Cov player that missed. I can't remember his name, but he did. I think that he got released by them.
Yeah.
Afterwards, didn't he? But yeah, felt bad for him. But what a glorious day for.
Oh yeah, when it sailed over, and even the realisation didn't sink in.
Didn't know.
I think it took until the fixtures were released.
Yeah.
And then you actually saw the fixtures.
And you see Luton Town alongside all these Premier League clubs, and it all really.
I think that's when it sort of sunk in, when you saw the fixtures and thought, right, it is.
All right. So what game are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, I don't think there's one.
Come on, okay. Give me 3 matches. 3 matches that you're looking forward to. Gotta be City. Come on, you want to see City at Kenilworth Road.
I think it's easy to say, oh, I want to see against Liverpool, Man United, Man City.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that you look at the fixtures, you think, okay, you've got Brighton first game, and there's Burnley, then there's West. It's like each game is just like every game.
They're winnable games.
Every game is just like, oh, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough game, and it's literally, there's no games where you think, oh well, we should win that. It should be a comfortable game, but there's no games like that. I mean, I think
we're going to upset a lot of teams. I think that there's because there's going to be that whole idea that teams are coming to just batter us, right?
Yeah,
and they're not going to be ready because they, people forget our style of play is perfectly suited to the Premier League. I think.
Yeah,
the fast pace, the ticky-tacky with the passes, just how the whole team moves as one unit. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to struggle against us.
I think probably Arsenal, because just knowing what Arteta is like a coiled sprint on the touchline.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, there's literally no space whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's going to be entertaining watching.
Seeing all the different managers over on that side.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Just to be in the stadium now with the new stand that's being built as well. Yeah, there's so much to look forward to.
And even the away games, like getting there and you're going to the Etihad, you're going to. I mean, I've been to Etihad, I've been to Old Trafford, been to Anfield, and I think when you're back there and you sort of go down the league, you think, are we ever going to get back there? And we're definitely not going there as like tourists, like just grateful to be there, because once you're there, you want to put up a show and you want to win, basically. And we want to like make Luton proud, and I know Rob and the team will all be proud of Rob and the team and everything
100%.
that they do. So I think it's just enjoy the journey. I would say enjoy the ride, but
you're not going to be enjoying the ride. You're going to be tired for you.
But no, it's literally going to be an incredible incredible season. I think it's more the whole season, the whole
Hey, and mate,
experience.
do you know what? And you're going to be very much part of that.
Yeah.
This is the thing. What like I don't think that you've quite realised yet is that you have wrote yourself into Luton Town folklore. You
Mate.
have. You're too bloody humble. Yeah, someone needs to tell you, right? Because you have, Mark. What you've done through your time is you have been with the club this whole time. This whole time, and since the spotlight's been firmly placed on us, you've been in it as well.
Yeah.
And do you know what? When people look back on this time of football, your name's going to be echoed.
But the whole thing
alongside
about
it.
the football club is we're all one team.
Yeah.
It's not just Rob the manager. It's not just like.
Well, you best believe Luton Deadpool's coming to some games as well. You
No,
best
but
believe Luton Deadpool's going to be in the Premier League.
but the whole thing is, I mean, even like the price of season tickets,
Oh yeah, how great is that?
and
Yeah.
it's just like, and it's rewarding the loyalty. I'm sure they could have charged more, but they're just rewarding the loyalty of the journey that everyone's been on.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that everyone contributes to the success of the club. Everyone that's connected with the football club contributes, and it's not down to there's no superstars, everyone contributes, and everyone can be proud of what they've done to sort of get us to where we are and to continue the journey, basically.
Yeah. Well, mate, do you know what? Let's just give another big up to your book before we cut off. The Mad Hatter by Mark Crowther with foreword by Mick Harford. You can get this on the club shop. You can get it online as well. You can get it at Kelnoff Road. And obviously you can contact Mark through any one of his socials and get hold of your copy of the Mad Hatter. This is a must read for any Luton Town fan and for just anybody in general that wants to be inspired on how to do great things in life. So yeah, thank you so much, Mark, for my copy, and I wish you all the best of luck for the season ahead. And yeah, mate, I don't want to be in your shoes. They're going to be worn out after all this riding. But I commend you seriously, mate. You're doing such a good thing, and I can't say how proud I am to be able to call you my friend and also to know that you support my club.
And you inspire me as well, and thank you for having me on your
dude, thank
podcast.
you very much, man.
Cheers.
All right, wicked. Love you, Luton. Up the town.
Come on, you're at us.
Yes, mate.